Turn it over. Yeah, there we go. Can you hear me? All right. Thank you. So we're gonna kind of get into what it took for you to get from here to the world, and hopefully inspire some of the folks that are in here based on your stories, which I'm sure that's what will happen. It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
All right, good, man. So let's start with you, Chamille.
Sure. So I grew up here in Jacksonville. I went to La Villa and Douglas Anderson as a piano major, and so music was always a really big part of my life. But it's funny because whenever I graduated high school, I kind of put music away and didn't think it was something that I would pick up again. I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C. Any HU in here? Hey HU. I went to Howard University and studied biology in pursuit of a career in veterinary medicine. I love animals. But once I figured out that that wasn't exactly my path, I continued my degree just because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It's hard trying to figure out what you want to do with your life at like 18, 19, you know? But didn't really know what I wanted to do. On the side of college, I was working at a staffing agency that did staffing for big and small scale events, weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, a lot of bar mitzvahs. And so I really enjoyed that. I also threw myself into a lot of extracurriculars in school. I became a Delta at Howard. Anybody in here? Hey. Hey, Brett. And so, yeah, I threw myself into doing programming and events for every kind of organization that I was involved with and realized that event planning was really what I wanted to do. I threw myself into hospitality and loved that. And then, truly by the grace of God, as I was kind of searching for a couple of different roles outside of what I was doing in DC, I was approached by a recruiter at Live Nation who told me a little bit about this position that I'm in. I work with Live Nation, and I'm in our media and sponsorship division. Live Nation has a lot of different divisions that we focus in on. Media and sponsorship is a big one, and what we do is we connect brands to fans through a lot of different ways, but the way that I do it is through entertainment and events. And so it truly just really came full circle, coming back to the music industry and being able to use my love for programming and events with my love for music to really push my career forward. So that's where I am now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Wow.
How do you follow that?
I'm going to keep mine nice and simple. Q45, if anybody knows anything about me, I'm from St. Augustine, to make it clear. So everybody gets upset, like he's from Duval. I'm from St. Augustine, but formerly of BET. I did Rap City for about 5 years. If anybody remembers when TV was TV and they played videos on TV. I did that show for 5 years, like I said, then 106 in Park. Moved on from that, signed with Cash Money Records, worked with Baby closely. Not that closely, but closely. With production. I hear y'all laughing. Don't give me no trouble. But yeah, moved on from that, toured overseas for about 7 years, just myself, me as a DJ, just going out anywhere from Dubai, out in Paris. I lived in Nantes in the south of France for a while. Been all over the world doing this. Right now, working with Flo Rida, on tour with him, doing a fitness app, fitness brand, marketing for that. So that's just real simple. I can't follow what you did. I'm just giving them a little bullet points, bullet points.
No, that's perfect. Let me ask, and this is to both of you, do you feel like you pulled anything from, I know you made it clear, St. Augustine, but surrounding areas, of course, and including Duval, do you feel like there was something that you got only from coming from an area that's like Duval or like St. Augustine that you would not have gotten, that has helped you become who you have become and have, and approach the things that you've approached and had the experiences that you have now? Do you think there's something that you got from that area?
You go first. You're looking great today, by the way.
Thank you. No, I think Duval has a wealth of talent that is untapped. I think a lot of the talent that we see take off is really just, I I was talking about this a little earlier with some people here. It's chance and opportunity, but we have a lot of really great talent here. We have some great, great musicians that come from here. I think my experience at Douglas Anderson and at La Villa gave me an experience that, and I'm sure there are other art schools like in the U.S. That provide really great experiences for students as well. But I think DA and La Villa really afforded me an opportunity that was so diverse, and being able to really immerse myself in my passion and my art that I think a lot of people don't get in other areas. So I think that's something that really, and it really did grow my passion for music at the end of the day. So
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, I would say hunger. I'm not a lazy man at all. I get out and go get after it. I don't really take no for an answer. If I can't get in somewhere, I'm going through the back door, windows, whatever it takes. I literally get the job done. I came from 64 Sanford Street in St. Augustine, Florida, all the way to New York City, 530 West 57th in the city. I mean, not a lot of people can say, they've done that. So that's not taking no for an answer. I don't play any games. That's pretty much me, hunger.
And let me even expound on that a little bit. I just using myself as an example. I starting in the industry early on. Here, sometimes it seems like people have to leave the city in order to make things happen, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering if you both feel like it's the same, or do you feel like there's things that are developing now here that because like you said, the talent is here. The stories are here, but the infrastructure, like these types of events, are what's necessary. And I'm wondering, do you all feel like it's different, or do you, just kind of tagging on to what we were just discussing?
totally. I feel like it's growing for sure. I think I went away to school. I was gone for 8-9 years, and I came back, and it felt like a totally different city. And so when I was growing up, it didn't feel like there were always, accessible opportunities or resources for creatives that were here. It was really just us in our own bubble. But I think as I've come back, I'm older, I can experience a little bit more. I definitely think that the accessibility and opportunities are definitely growing here through things like this, and through, the things that the city and community is putting its money into. We're trying to do more hospitality downtown. We're trying to bring more entertainment here. There's definitely a wealth of opportunities here for people that are creatives, for sure.
Yeah, this wasn't here 5 years ago, meaning this event, so this shows that we're moving forward in the right direction. So I'm with her.
Yeah.
Agree. So let's take it a different route. Your experience. Let's start with you again, Chamille. I know because your field is a little different. I would imagine it takes some creativity, right? But just not in the same way that maybe we might express ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, do you ever find, because you said you have a music appreciation, do you ever find yourself pulling from, the influences that you've had here, or, throughout your travels, to actually execute what you do and actually, if you can kind of explain what it is specifically your position is with answering that. Was that too layered?
No, that's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
That's fine. Yeah, totally. So my position. So again, I come from an event planning background. I used to do a lot of weddings and social events, and so my work is really, I work with brands and produce different events for them. So that could be a private event from anywhere from 40 to 40,000 people, where we're bringing artists and talent in. It could be something where we're popping up an activation at a festival. It could be something where we are producing really nice hospitality suites at a festival, or something where we're bringing a brand to some kind of festival and curating an entire weekend with on and off-site events for them. So we produce and we execute everything that goes into that, from front of house to back of house, meaning front of house being, your food and bev, any kind of design and decor, whatever. Back of house being anything artist facing, so stage, lighting, backline, anything of that nature. So it's a lot that goes into it, but it is really fun and it's cool. It's a lot of travel that comes with it as well. I've been to some very cool places and worked with some very, very cool people. And so in that, I think inspiration that I've pulled to do my job, it does take a lot of creativity. It takes a lot of creative problem solving. I think a lot of brands have very specific ways that they like to market themselves and that they like to put themselves out there to their consumers. And because marketing is not my background, I think for me, I pull a lot from just my creative edge that I had growing up here in Jacksonville, going to DA, going to La Villa, and being around and surrounded by creatives. I definitely use that to my advantage to create different really cool experiences for these brands and different ways to market themselves. I hope that answers the question.
So I have a question.
Absolutely.
How does somebody get close to you? Meaning, like, what you're doing right now in your space. Are you mentoring, or do you have other people behind you that are kind of following your footsteps? Do you have a company that's training people to be, to do what you're doing?
Totally. So Live Nation actually has Live Nation Media and Sponsorship specifically has a really cool college associate program that we do every year. Right. And so my division of experiential and events and festivals and custom events and hospitality, we always bring on one intern each year, but there are a multitude of ways that we go about doing media and sponsorship, from social media marketing to insights and measurements to, we just have a plethora of ways.
Does age matter? It doesn't matter? Does it?
Sort of, kind of. They want.
We don't want to exclude it,
yeah,
but we just want to, people
anybody.
know exactly where they can fit in.
Totally. That is a program that Live Nation has that I think is really cool. But I think, like, networking with people who you see that are doing things that it looks like could be cool to do. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. Everyone loves to give I do. Everyone loves to give their wisdom and knowledge that they have to other people to pass it on. So I think my advice to people who are just trying to, like, figure out how to get their way in is really just to, like, allow yourself to meet people, allow yourself to network with people. If you see somebody doing something cool, ask them questions about how they do that and what they do and how they got into that and what was their route and how they could give you some of their knowledge or resources, I think is really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed.
You got to go.
Sounds like you want to get an intern.
No. I'm just, I want to make sure everybody knows, what the entry level is and how to get
Absolutely.
to where she's at. That's important. We need to have the knowledge to get to this.
Totally.
And it's also important to understand how these positions work together.
Totally.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That is definitely a puzzle piece that fits perfectly if it works well, if everybody's about what they're doing.
100%.
Were you about to?
I'm with you, brother. I'm following you. She
Oh, yeah.
got it together.
Well, no.
I'm intrigued.
No, but
a lot of the talent that we hire for these brands and for these events are DJs. Especially this year, I feel like I've hired so many DJs to be at these events, and that's what we've been contracting, because that's kind of what's in right now. People just want to dance, they want music, they want fun opportunities to connect, and so DJs are a really great way. And so that's truly how, like, my role, is hand in hand with any kind of artist, but any kind of DJ or artist role.
Okay, so look, I want you to kind of expound on how a day is, or maybe a week, in the life of a DJ that is a global DJ.
So basically, wake up noon in the morning. Wake up at noon. Just playing with y'all. Wake up in the morning. I try to make sure I keep my fitness together. Health is wealth. It's very important. Make sure you get a good workout done. I look at all my emails. Try to get back with anybody that's hit me up about shows. I have a manager as well. Understanding the difference between a manager, agent, very important, because I have both. So I talk with my manager for about an hour. We go over exactly what particular events people are trying to book me for. I only take events that match what Q45 is. Very important. Don't do events that aren't in your wheelhouse of what you do.
Don't follow the brand, right? They have to follow the brand.
I make sure that what Q45 does is what he does. So I won't be in a situation where they're asking me to play country music. That's not actually my expertise, but I can play that. But I want to make sure that when I'm out in front of people, my brand is represented to the highest level. And they go, that was a great show. We had a great time with him. Versus like, it was okay. He played a couple songs that were cool. So that's number 3 in it. Number 4, I try to make sure that I check on all my family, making sure that all my people are straight, people that work for me, all the different influencers that post all my content. I find out what's happened with different events that we got going on. How many hits do we get? Do we need to do more promo, which is very important. All the social sites as well, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. Then we get to the venue, move on to the party, and smash.
So I hear that. So I heard you mention the difference between manager and agent.
Yeah.
If you would just go ahead and expound on that, just for those of us.
Yeah. Well, for me, my manager handles basically anything on the ground. So that means when it comes down to booking Q45 to do Classic Weekend and you're doing House of Blues, my manager makes sure the rider's taken care of, all the equipment is taken care of, they know what time we're supposed to be at the venue, et cetera, et cetera. Now, my agent sets up all of my major media stuff, meaning like, say we're about to do WrestleMania next week in Vegas. So when it comes down to all of the influencers, all the podcasts, anything like that with the WWE, he takes care of all of that, meaning Q45 needs to be here to film this, to talk about that. He does that. Q45 is going to speak about promo for this next tour we have. He takes care of all of that. My manager takes care of all of my DJ Q45 stuff, club, anything where I'm playing some music. But my agent takes care of all of my major mass media things.
So how do you go about acquiring? Would you say that they find you, or you look for an agent or manager?
I mean, first of all, you got to make sure you cultivate your brand. Make sure your brand is viable to have a manager or an agent. That's very important. You can't just be just out here just doing whatever. You have to make sure that you are making some noise. You can't, as my mom used to say, you can't put the cart before the horse. Very important. So, if you're going to get a manager, make sure he has something to manage. Very important. So that's what I would say.
Okay, and that's the same you would say for an agent as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, when it came to me, when I got on BET, I was actually going to Full Sail out in Orlando. So I ended up getting the job on TV while I was working to learn more about television. So I had to stop that because I'm going back and forth to New York, flying every single week, Monday, back and forth to do shows for BET. So, that was how that worked out. So
Trusky, real quick, I'm gonna jump in real quick. If you have a question, we do have time for maybe one or two questions, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Yeah, I was gonna open
it up.
To
the stage. Yep, you can come to this. You can come to the closest microphone.
Oh, we got two mics. This place. Oh, y'all got it together in there.
I think she's going your way.
She's coming my way.
Yeah.
Well, okay. By the way, this has been a wonderful experience. Just letting everyone know. Everybody was so pleasant, nice, smells great. This was great. This was a nice thing I put on.
Good morning to both of you. I want to just thank you so very much. I have worked in Jacksonville and very familiar with when the La Villa School of Arts came into place. I also work over in St. Augustine, and congratulations to the new Historic Museum. It did pass through the state legislature's one of the committees yesterday. So hopefully we'll get that Black Historic Museum in St. Augustine. But my question is, in Jacksonville, we seem to, it appears to me that we're not doing enough to keep the local talent in Jacksonville. And I know sometimes you have to go away to get the experience to bring back. We need to have a lot more young people in St. Augustine, as well as in Duval County, to come and be mentors to the existing youth that are coming up, because we're losing our youth, and that's why I think we stay a little stagnant sometimes in Jacksonville, and people think they need to go away, and you take the talent with you, and we're not cultivating it enough. What can we do in St. Augustine and in Duval County to help bring that talent back in here? Because we got a lot of talented people, and we need to have them going into a manner that makes money as well as present a brand.
You go. I'm waiting on you.
You go first.
Well, stop hating on each other. That's number one. We have to support each other. We jump on these different sites and we watch people's stories and we don't like them or, we don't show love. I think that's important. We have to stop hating on each other and actually get out here and support each other. If somebody's doing a pop-up, go to the pop-up. just show your face, come through, shake hands. And I think that's important because since some people aren't doing that, it causes people to go, well, I'm not getting no love here. Let me move this somewhere else. Let me keep moving on. And I'll just come back to Duval or St. Augustine, so to speak. So sorry if I just did a downer in the room. Sorry. But y'all told me to be straight up in here. So.
No, that's fine.
No, I totally agree. I think supporting our local artists is really important. I think sometimes from what I hear when I hear people talking about like local artists or local talent, or even talking about themselves as local talent, I think sometimes I hear a negative connotation that comes from the people that are listening to that. Like, oh, they do music too? Like, yeah, they do music and it's actually fire. Like, we need to support each other. I definitely think that putting more money into having more events and programming in the city that allows talent to be shown here. I know we have the Jazz Festival. I know we have all of these different things, but doing things that are specifically for local talent. We bring talent from everywhere here if we can. But I think hosting events that are specific for our talent, where we're lifting them up, giving them their props, and giving them a stage to be able to do what they do best and do what they love, I think it would be really important here to keep talent here.
Agreed. And if I may add to that just really quickly, we're going to have to wrap it up. But there are organizations in the city that will do those kind of events, placemaking Jacks, downtown Jacks, a lot of different organizations that will allow for us to support the city, develop the economy and the art scene. Also, I feel like one of the things is that we don't always support the other arts as well. Like once you have that the culture of the city develops and it kind of brews. As a community, right? We really appreciate both of you coming and sharing your time and expertise.
Thank you guys for having me.
Wish we had more time, but everybody please give them a round of applause.
We have one more question.
Are we doing one more question?
We didn't leave you over there, brother.
We've got to move on. I am so sorry. But no, please, thank you. Thanks, Q45 and Jamille. Thank you. Trusky, we appreciate you. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Oh. Okay, so we're going to prep for our next panel. It's Bold Moves, Leading Infrastructure Innovation in Jacksonville and Beyond. And so